2 Timothy if you would, verses. I would that you read the entire chapter. I only want to read verses 5 and 6. Second Timothy chapter 1, verses 5 and 6. I believe our responsive reading would have been verses 3 through 10. So in your quiet time, if you would read the entire chapter. But verse 5 and 6 says, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois,
yes, sir,
and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. When I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God. Thus in the reading of God's holy word. And today I want to talk about things mother taught for the future.
All right.
Things that mother taught for the future.
yes, sir.
Things that mother taught for the future. Listen, for the most part, our mothers was our first teachers. They taught us respect, the alphabets,
Right.
how to count, how to write, how to cook, how to clean, and how to say our prayers. I might need to add that these mother was from old school, because they didn't just teach us past and present things, but they taught us what and who we would need in the future.
Yes,
sir.
I wish I had a co-signer right there. Is there anybody up in here that remember these words from mother? Listen, I might not be here when it happens.
Right.
But child, you're going to need to know the Lord
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah.
I wish I knew somebody right there. They would tell us you're going to need him.
Yes, sir.
Because I won't always be here.
Right.
It was important to mothers that her children was prepared not just to live,
Right.
but also for living.
Right.
Mothers didn't teach their children from an educational level, but they taught them from the arena of wisdom.
Right.
I wish somebody would help me right here. I believe what's hurting society now is that we're trying to rationalize life.
Right.
When in reality, you need to know something about life.
Right.
Because in life, always 1 + 1 don't equal 2.
Right. Right.
Help me somebody, help me. You see, there are some things in life you cannot find in a book. Some things won't add up. And some things you won't ever foresee. But faith in the one who sees and knows everything is a must. So in our text, Paul has to address Timothy in a very difficult time period in his life as a young minister, as a young preacher, as a young pastor, by sharing his love for him and encouraging him to rely on what his mother and grandmother taught him. Anybody up in here, this is old school, and y'all gonna have to forgive me for dealing with old school, but old school, if somebody caught you doing something that you shouldn't have done, and wouldn't it kill you, wouldn't it cut you if they tell you, now I know your mama taught you better than me. I wish somebody would talk back to me. That would kind of like cut you and make you bleed. Mama not even there, she don't even know what you've done, but just the idea. Hello somebody. Hello somebody. Now, listen, and even those of us whose mother is gone on, and you cut up, somebody will tell you.
Right.
You got mama rolling over.
In her grave.
In her grave. Yeah. And so Paul, he talks to Timothy about the fact that what you're dealing with and what you're going through, I know your mother prepared you for it. And I think that's what mothers try to teach us and try to inform us, is to prepare us for the future. Listen, Paul tells Timothy, it's embedded in you. But it's up to you to reach down into the depths of your soul and bring it up. You see, there are some Timothys and some Timettes up in here who need to reach down for what mother taught you as you face your challenges in life. Now, come on now, y'all know, you females, it was daddy who told you. If he didn't treat you right, come on back home. But mama, hello somebody, hello. That wasn't the story that mom gave you. Mom gave you your responsibility as a wife. Hello somebody, hello. And so can we just talk about 3 things that mother has taught us for the future? And then I'm going to make my exit so we can have Mother Day's lunch. Anybody interested? Listen, the first thing is, mother taught us the importance of faith in God. We didn't like to hear it. I got anybody that's going to be just admitted today that when you were coming up, you didn't want to hear nothing about no Jesus? I'll say, yeah, thank you, Larry. Yeah. And so Paul zeroes in to Timothy that he has something on the inside of him that was put there by his mother and grandmother. And that something is faith. Faith is something that we cannot, listen, faith is something that we cannot face life challenges and struggles without. You're going to need some faith. Because some things you'll never foresee.
Right.
And you can't operate on what you see.
Right.
You got to operate on who you know.
Right. Right.
I might not, I wish somebody would help me right here, because what Mother taught us was the importance of having faith in God, because sometimes you're going to have to just trust God to make a way out of no way.
Yeah.
I wish I had some company up in here, because we need some more mothers that will say to us, the Lord will make a way. I mean, faced with adversity, faced with trials, faced with tribulation, somebody needs to say the Lord will make a way somehow. Can I get a witness? Listen, yes, get a good education. Get an honest job. Go and get you some material things. But maintain your faith in God, because you're going to need Him not just one day, but every minute, every second, every hour, every day. You're going to need Him through the weeks. You're going to need Him through the months. You're going to need Him. And what Mother tries to relate to us is that, although I might not be here with you always, but I know somebody that can. He can do more for you than what I ever can. And they will tell you, you're going to have to know Him for yourself. So they talk to us about how important it is to have faith in God. And what Paul was saying to Timothy is that life will bring you to your due date of faith, for what's in you must come out of you. I wish I knew somebody. I wish I knew somebody up in here, up in here, that what Mama tried to teach you wasn't in agreement with. Right. I wish somebody would talk back to me. And Sister Lot, you said, when I have some children. Right. And anybody up in here, you already decided that Mama wasn't right, and Mama didn't know everything. When you have your own children, you're not going to raise them like that. And ain't God comical? Yes, He is. Because He blessed you with some rascals. And then the same thing He said to you, what don't do? Somebody ought to talk back to me. You will discover, and God will bring it back to your memory. And all that I'm trying to tell you is that Mother taught us how important it is to have faith in God. I wish somebody would help me. Mama will tell you. I wish I was on the phone with somebody right now. Because Mama will tell you, you might not pray now. But wait till God blesses you with some knotheads and some hard heads. Wait till God bless you with some manage and some fat heads. It will make you pray. I wish I was on the phone with somebody. Because listen. I ain't hating on fathers, because I'm one. But trust me when I tell you that a mother's prayer is off the chain. I wish somebody would just talk back to me. A lot of us are still here. Because somebody ought to talk to me. We got up and we come on, Vanessa. We did. Some of us have done some stuff that our mothers and fathers would have never done. And we've gone out there and tried to do our own thing. And some of us, y'all not talking back to me. Y'all not talking back to me. Some of us are only here today, Buster, because while we was out there cutting up, Mama was on her knees. And because she tried to teach us the importance of having faith in God. Mama tried to, I ain't no shame to my game, Linda. Ain't no shame to my game. I'm here today. Because Mama was praying for me. And don't fool yourself. Mama know they children. should have been run off the road, but you only here because mama prayed for you. Oh, I know.
Right about it. Yeah.
I know y'all know what I'm talking about. See, some of y'all done tried a little reefer. And while you were mama spirit jumped in there. Y'all know when you open up that bottle for a little drain like it, mama spirit, you know. Hello somebody. So mama had a way. That's why, Sister Dilla, that's why you was out there trying to have a good time, but you couldn't have a good time because mama. Oh, yeah. While you were partying, mama was having a knee party.
That's all right.
Chester Baldwin said it like this.
Yes, sir.
I still hear mama praying for me. She taught us not to trust man, but to trust God, because he won't ever let you down. Anybody in here, Sister McGee, anybody up in here, Sister Ruby Jewel, mama tried to tell you that wasn't your friend? Hello. Mama could see something you couldn't see. Hello. They wasn't after you. They was after your stuff. Mama don't know that. So Paul bases this on not just Timothy alone, but he bases this letter to Timothy on what he knew about Lois and Eunice. What he knew, and y'all know that's a whooping. I told you earlier, that's a whooping when somebody come up to you and talking to you. Now you know your mama. Your mama be turning over in her grave right now. And y'all don't want to hear that, but you know it's true. Hello. You know how God deals with us. That's why somebody can come up to you and say to you that I know your mother is proud of you because they knew their character and their morals, and to see you following in their footsteps speaks about your training. Anybody, mama gone, and somebody, you done something spectacular, you done a good thing in life, and don't it make you feel good? That somebody knew your mama? She ain't even here no more, but they kind of, and you be wishing. Mama was here because of that good thing that you just accomplished, that good thing you just done, and then somebody who knew mama come up to you and say, you know, if your mama was here today, or say to you, your mama smiling down from above on you, because they knew that mama taught you well. Listen. Remember, train up a child into the way that he should go, and when he get old, he won't depart from him. Listen, young mothers, don't forget what your mother taught you about God. It's okay to teach that to your children as well. It's okay for mothers to teach their children about God. And so it's important. That was one of the things that mother taught us, that it was important to have faith in God. And then the second thing, I kind of like the second thing. The second thing that she taught us is create your own fire from within. Paul tells Timothy, he says, stir up the gift of God which is in you. And this simply means to kindle the fire, turn the heat up. And can't nobody turn up your heat but you. Somebody gonna get this thing in a minute there. Learn how to create your own fire when needed. Hello, somebody. I said in Sunday school is that sometimes life will make you pray more and harder. Hello, you. Yeah. Because sometimes when you get down on your knees and everything is going well, you just have one of those little generic prayers. But let something go wrong. Let something bad happen. That'll change how you pray. And the Lord is simply saying to us through Timothy, through Paul, as he's sharing with Timothy, is that sometime in life you're going to have to create your own fire. Sometime in life you're going to have to blow on your own fire so that it can catch on fire. Sometimes you're going to have to do for yourself. And that's why Paul told Timothy, it's in you, but you're going to have to stir it up. And sometime in us, that's why I've learned, I ain't gonna finna get up in here and try to kill myself, hollering and screaming. Y'all got to create your own fire.
All right.
I ain't no fire starter. If it's already in you, you ought to, hello somebody, you ought to know how to create your own fire. I mean, as good as God been to you, sometimes in order to create your own fire, you got to go down memory lane. And sometimes you got to think about all that God brought you through. I know you faced with a new challenge, but sometimes while you're facing the new challenge, you got to look at the other challenges. And if God brought you through this, then surely he can bring you through that. And sometimes the only reason we can't get through is because we won't create our own fire. And so Timothy got to deal with the fact that he's a young preacher. He's a young pastor, and a lot of folks, Paul had to tell Timothy, don't let them despise thy youth. You go ahead and stir up what's in you, because your mama had it and your grandma had it, and I'm persuaded that you got it too, and you ought to just all I'm saying is mama used to could pray. But if she prayed, you ought to be able to pray. Now, hello, you gotta I'm looking at some of y'all fluffy and fine. But your first cooking teacher was mom. Hello somebody. I wish somebody would help me right here. Because it's old school mama, they can't tell you exactly how much. Hello somebody. Anybody here, you just have to watch. Some of us still trying to figure out a pinch. Anybody up in here, the way mama used to cook it, you still ain't got it. You've been trying and trying because mama, you wasn't paying attention. You too busy trying to rationalize it. You too busy trying to make it a reality, when some of mama's cooking wasn't just the recipes, it was her faith. Oh, y'all not getting this thing. Sometimes mama knew she didn't have enough of the ingredients. Y'all not feeling it right here. But mama knew how to stir it up. She knew how to create her own fire. And mothers told us right now, you got to know how to create your own fire. Dominique, you got to know how to create your own fire. Because even if time gets hard, you better learn what a sewing machine is. Sometimes you got to create. Sometimes you got to, hello somebody. Bobby, sometimes when you got more than one child, you got to buy some shoes too big. So that the next one can get them. You got to know how to create. Y'all not. You got to know how to create your own fire. Quit trying to give children everything. I don't know, y'all. But Barbara, y'all done heard me say it before, but when we were brought up, and y'all can say we were dysfunctional, I don't care. but Cal and Marianne were gonna help me right here. We didn't own nothing in our house. There was my taters, there was my eggs, turned my lights off. I wish somebody would talk back to me. I wish Marianne and Cal would just help me right here. Everything belonged to her. Close my door, get my hair, let all my hair. Everything was hers. So what happened? What happened is that you got to know how to create your own fire. Mother may have taught us, now I lay me down to sleep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Listen, that might have worked when I was 4. It might even work when I was 14. But now at 54, I got to create my own fire. I wish I knew somebody. There are times that life gets tedious. My burdens get heavy. And I got to go down memory lane. And I remind them, Mama said, you're going to have to learn how to pray for yourself. And now I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I've been where my back was up against the wall. I've been where I didn't know which way to turn, but I had to create my own fire. I heard some deacons say, here I am, body bent and face turned toward the mother does. And sometimes I can't pray a calm prayer. I got to turn up the heat and tell the Lord, Lord, here I am. I need you right now. I had to tell the Lord, I know what's up ahead, and it's going to be all right if you would just walk with me, if you would just talk with me. And have anybody ever told the Lord for yourself, Father, stretch my hands to thee. Father, help I know if withdraw ourselves from him, I don't know where I would go. And sometimes you got to create your own fire, because sometimes you might have an enemy camped all around you, and you got to know how to create your own fire. Every now and then I can remember my mama in the kitchen all by herself, and she break out in a song in the kitchen while she cooking, and tears rolling down her face. I used to wonder what's wrong with mama, and I thank the Lord that I've lived long enough that now You got to know how to handle your business. That's why Paul said, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And you got to know how to handle your business. I tell the world, for God I live and for God I die. I got to tell somebody that the God I serve, He's able. He's able. And I got to know how to handle my own business. I got to know how to trust in God. I got to know that I got to know how to turn it over to the Lord and leave it. I got to know how to leave it there. I got to know that I cannot depend on mama no more. I kind of feel like the blind man, mother and father. He's of age. He can speak for himself. And all I've been trying to do is speak for myself. I got to handle my business. I got to know how to turn it over to the Lord and let Him work it out. If I got a child that don't understand me, I got to know how to handle my business. I tell the Lord, you gave him to me, and I'm going to give him back to you. He's out of my hand. I need you to hold him. I need you to mold him. I need you to put him in your hand, and the Lord will. I wish I knew somebody up in here who have a testimony. Is there anybody here with a testimony? He might not come when you want him, but he's an on-time God. Somebody ought to just come on, give God some praise. If he's done anything for you, why don't you handle your business? The Bible says, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Anybody feel like getting your praise on him? Anybody know that when praises go up, blessing will come down? Somebody ought to say yeah. Say yeah. Say ain't he alright? I said ain't he alright? Anybody know he's alright? Mother taught us for the future. And somebody sitting up in here, you know better. Mama taught you. You can't say you ain't been taught. You know if you ain't living right. Hello? Mama taught you to go to church on Sunday. She didn't teach you to be at the field. My mama. Today is Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day. Sister Flowers. Today is Mother's Day. And I had a moment this morning, Sharon. I had a moment this morning because I was taught not to iron. On Sundays. But I turned it on. All I'm saying is that I didn't iron like I wanted to. Y'all not feeling me. Y'all not feeling me. I turned it on green, but since Brown, I didn't get to iron like I really. Cause Mama taught me. Now you don't iron on. If you didn't get it ready before Sunday, you wore it wrinkled. And y'all know I'm too fly. I'm too fly to be wrinkled. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. But it was for y'all. birthday party too. I'll never forget. My other grandmother kept us, and Mama parked in front of her house and ran in to get me and Tommy. And you just couldn't go in my grandmother's house and run out. Grandmother had some stuff to talk about. By the time Mama got back outside, somebody had done stole Mama's purse. And Mama was picking me and Tommy up when we was going to Handy. Some of y'all don't know nothing about Handy. Some of y'all don't know nothing about Handy. But Handy was the HEB back in the day. Yeah, right there on the airport in Oak Spring. It was right there. And we was gonna go to Handy and get some groceries. We was gonna eat. Bible we was gonna eat that night, but the purse was stolen, and that went all of the money. And my mama called her mama to tell her what happened, and there all of us crying. All of us crying. Just crying because we ain't gonna have nothing to eat. And my grandmother said, Deacon Dixon, my grandmother said, she said, y'all don't do nothing but throw away food. There's plenty of food in that refrigerator. Y'all get that, and y'all work it out until I get there.
Yeah.
And then that's when Mama had a flashback, and that's when Mama took Big Mama's advice, and we had goulash that night. Because Mama taught us you don't throw away. Y'all don't know nothing about. Surely you don't know nothing about that. You don't throw away food. And when you got all of that extra food in the refrigerator, it don't even go with nothing. But if you put it all in one pot, it's goulash. I wish I knew somebody knows some good goulash up in here. And it sure would, don't it taste? Some of this modern day stuff where they mixing stuff up, we were doing that a long time ago. And so with that sometimes I have flashbacks. And sometimes I'm serious. Sometimes y'all heard me say this before. I have flashbacks. Well, I don't know what I want to eat. But that's when I have flashbacks, and I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at 54. Because Mama taught me you can't be picky when you're hungry. Somebody need to know ground meat and T-bone steak come from the same cow. I don't want no ground meat. I want to filet mignon. What you think you eat? But she taught us. Anybody here? And when you got your first job, she tried to tell you can't spend all your money.
All right.
You need to save some for a rainy day. It ain't raining today. Tiffany, give me the day. They tried to prepare us for the future. That's when you know you got a good mother, that she tried to prepare you for the future. And that's what Paul is telling Timothy. They prepared you, but you're going to have to create your own fire. They taught you how important it is to have faith in God. But you're going to have to create your own fire. There's going to come a time when mama prayers ain't going to work. you're going to need to pray for yourself. Yeah. You're going to need to pray for yourself. There's going to come a time, listen. There's going to come a time in life that what mama tried to teach you about. Mama tried to teach you about curfews. Tried to teach you some things about who your real friends are.
Right.
Tried to teach you, tried to prepare you. Don't quit a job.
Amen.
Look,
Amen.
care how mad they make you.
Right.
Just be mad and keep working
Right.
till you get them nothing.
Right.
And then those mothers that when you left and they turned your room into something else, they were telling you don't come back.
Amen.
And if you come back, you don't get to go to your room, you go to the couch, that's because they don't want you that long. Hello, somebody. Hello. They're just trying to prepare you for the future. I ain't gonna be here always.
Right.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, my grandmother was old school. Deacon Dixon, she was old school. And my oldest brother Lee would say, Granny, come, I'm gonna give you $2. Come run me such and such a place. $2 for some gas. My grandmother take that $2 and then she say, now what you gonna give me for wear and tear on my tires? She was trying to teach you to take more than gas. Trying to prepare us for the future. And somebody's up in here right now that your mama, your daddy tried to prepare you for life by telling you you're going to need God in your life. They tried to instill that in you. And sometimes when you get grown, you get away from your teachers. If you're here today and you have not made a decision about heaven or hell, can I tell you today that next Mother's Day ain't promised? And you need to make a decision about heaven or hell. And today is a good day. If you don't have a church home, can I tell you you need one? And today will be a good day to surrender. Not to man, but surrender to God.